Welcome to the deep dive. Sometimes the most amazing things are hidden right there in everyday stuff, things we might just glance past.
Exactly. Especially in nature, or maybe just the details we don't normally zoom in on.
Right. And today, our deep dive takes us into something maybe unexpected. It's a blog post
Uh-huh.
from Notes on Gardening, Part 593, published July 13th, 2025. It's called The Solitary Sweet Basil Seedling, and it's by someone named Eng.
A single basil seedling. Interesting.
Yeah, so our mission today is basically to unpack this story, this one little basil plant, what makes it so unique, and maybe what can it tell us about, growth, paying attention.
Well, what's often fascinating with these small observations is how much they can reveal. It's like a little window into something bigger, like botanical resilience, or just the power of really looking closely.
Absolutely. So the question for you listening is, what's so special about one tiny plant? And maybe what can you learn from its surprising journey?
Okay, so let's get into it. Eng starts this off in a way that, well, anyone who gardens will probably recognize. Let me guess. Old seeds.
You got it. Rummaging through nearly expired seeds. It sounds really casual, not like some grand experiment, just sorting through the stash.
Right. That nearly expired part is key.
Yeah, and a packet of sweet basil catches Aang's eye.
And, seed viability, that's a constant thing for gardeners. Seeds don't last forever. So Aang's approach here, it's pretty practical. It shows how experienced folks deal with it.
How so?
Well, instead of just tossing them, you're kind of seeing if there's any life left, right? Giving them a chance, even if it's a long shot. You have to manage that uncertainty.
And Aang actually mentions having experience with this specific vendor's basil seeds before.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and that experience apparently taught Aang to expect a low germination rate. So going in, the bar was set really low.
Okay, that makes perfect sense then. That past experience, it directly leads to the strategy Aang uses next.
Which was?
Well, because the germination was expected to be poor, Aang decided to scatter them liberally alongside other plant seeds, not planting them carefully one by one.
Right, not meticulously, more like broadcast sowing.
Exactly. It's less about precision and more about maximizing any chance. It's kind of hopeful, but also smart. Low effort for potentially some reward. If you expect most to fail, you don't invest heavily in each one.
Like hedging your bets, almost.
Sort of, yeah. Or like innovators throwing ideas out there. You don't expect every single one to work, but you need that one breakthrough.
Okay, so Aang scatters the seeds. And then what happens kind of confirms the low expectations, but in a really specific way.
Okay.
After a few weeks, only one. Just a single sweet basil seedling pops up.
Wow, just one out of a whole scattered bunch.
Just the one. So it confirms the low germination rate prediction, yeah, but the result is this single solitary survivor. Really unexpected in its own way.
That one seedling. It kind of speaks volumes, doesn't it? About resilience, maybe chance. What allows that one individual to make it when, presumably many others from the same packet didn't?
It's that moment of surprise, the lone success story.
It really makes you think beyond just gardening, too. Like a single breakthrough idea or that one person on a team who pushes through often comes from a place where success wasn't guaranteed.
Exactly. But here's where it gets even more interesting. This isn't just any survivor. Aang points out something really specific about this particular plant, even though it's tiny.
Oh, what's that?
Aang writes, and this is a direct quote, "What makes this sweet basil seedling stand out, even at just a few weeks old, is its distinctly larger leaf size compared to other basil varieties."
Larger leaves already.
Yeah, so it's not just that it survived, it seems. Different, more vigorous maybe, exceptional right from the get-go.
That is fascinating because leaf size, even really early on, can definitely indicate specific traits. Vigor, like you said, or maybe even unique genetics setting it apart. It's not just about getting a head start.
And Aang adds more detail, too, that the true leaves, the ones that come after the very first baby leaves.
The cotyledons.
Right. Those true leaves, which are just starting to show, are also noticeably more substantial than those of your typical basil plant.
Okay, so it's consistent first leaves, true leaves, both bigger than usual.
Yeah. It feels like this plant isn't just lucky, it seems, inherently. Well, distinct.
If we step back and think about the bigger picture here, that specific detail, especially about the true leaves,